All right, everybody, we're back. Brand new Cabral concept. Excited to be with you here today. We're going to be going over never skip breakfast if this happens to you. This is an important one because there are many schools of thought, many diet plans, many forms of intermittent fasting that will have you skipping breakfast. Now, the thing is this, it's not that I'm not a believer in using a 12-hour or 14-hour or 16-hour intermittent fast on a daily basis. I'm not at all. The issue is that these things need to be more bioindividual. They affect people differently. And we can't overlook the research that is clearly stating that if you skip breakfast in the long term, over years, it could lead to an increase in overall mortality, namely an earlier death from cardiovascular disease. It is my hypothesis, because we don't know the exact mechanism, but it's my hypothesis that it's because fasting while waking hours, especially getting started in the morning, causes more stress in the body. And when you cause more stress in the body, you increase norepinephrine and or adrenaline plus cortisol. And when you increase these things overall, they strain the heart. It's just part of it. Literally, norepinephrine makes the heart work harder. That's how it works. It's supposed to. Like, it's a stress hormone. It says, okay, heart, beat faster, right? And like that's it. And also with cortisol, now we get a glucocorticoid, a stress hormone that's causing you to draw in not just more glucose, but more nutrients for what might be needed, pulling in potentially more calcium into your bloodstream. So it's something to look at, but at the same time, as I said, I still believe in the 12 to 16 hours. I just think we need to understand that as an industry, we want to be preaching more hours before midnight. Stopping eating earlier in the evening is so much healthier, like across every single spectrum, than skipping breakfast. So if we stop eating between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. at night, like, you're going to be healthier. Without a doubt, you're going to be healthier than stopping eating or skipping breakfast. You really will. And now it's easy, right? If we stop eating at, let's say, 6 o'clock at night, all right, we got 6 hours till midnight. And then if we go to 8 a.m., which most people are totally fine with, that's what I do myself, it's 14 hours, right? So it's like, it's somewhere between 12 and 16, whatever works for your body. Maybe you're a slow starter. Maybe you can go a little bit longer fasting. Okay, that's okay. But if you're up at 5:30, 6 a.m., you're getting the kids ready, you're getting ready for work yourself, you're sitting in traffic, you're stressed, probably not the best time to skip breakfast. Or you're up, you're doing your exercise bike, your intervals, your whatever, and you're skipping breakfast, and you're still going until noon, which many people do. That's a lot of stress in the body. Just something to think about. Again, I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I want you to have all the information accessible to you, and then you can make the best decision for you. So again, I'm a believer in 12 to 16 hours a day of intermittent fasting. I just much prefer stopping eating 5 to 7 p.m. at night, because I've seen the results. Again, we also have 500,000 labs worth of data in our practice. We're seeing well over 250,000 people. So we have the data. We're running essentially one of the largest studies in the world ongoing in our practice. And I just want you to win in all ways in life. Body transformation, health, all of those things. I want you to be healthy overall. So here's the thing. Once a week, can you do a longer fast? Yes, no problem. Once a week. Different than daily, right? Once a quarter, can you do an even longer fast? Yes, that's what we do in our practice. We've been doing now for years, decades, or well over a decade. And the reason is, though, it's also based on thousands of years, right, of what people have been doing, rather than trying to push it to the limit with just making yourself do it. Okay, so what's today's topic all about, though, if it's not about potentially increasing cardiovascular risk after years of doing this? Well, here's the thing. This is what I want you to think about, because again, many people can go to 10 a.m. They really can. We have people in our practice eat from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a 10 o'clock meal, we'll call it breakfast. They do a 1 p.m. and they do around a 5:30 or so. So 1:30, 5:30, right around there. And it works great for them. And that's fantastic. Many people in our practice, they break their fast at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever works for them. So again, you do what works best for you and your overall health. But I'll tell you this, there are other people that we've seen in our practice who don't do well skipping their breakfast or waiting until 10 a.m. or waiting until noon. And these are people that tend to then overeat at the next meal. Now, the rebuttal to that as well, if it fits your macros and just calories in, calories out, then you don't necessarily gain weight. I get it and I understand. I get it. But I want to look more at the social, psychological aspect of it. And then I also want to look at the GI stress that we're causing. So let's just take this as an example. You eat 2,100 calories a day. What do you think is easier? Just asking this. You can answer in the comments if you'd like. What do you think is easier? Do you think it's easier to digest 2,100 calories at once? Let's say it's 100 grams of protein, right? That's 400 calories. 100 grams of carbs, that's another 400 calories, so that's 800. And that would be like 1,200, 1,300 calories from fat, so that's like 120 grams of fat. It's a lot of fat, but there are people who get there. I'm just using that as an example, right? Obviously, you can just say it's 150 protein, 150 carbs. Like that's all at one meal. So do you think that's easier to digest at one meal? Or do you think it might be easier in your digestive system to do the 8 o'clock, noon, 12:30, 5:30 or so, over 3 meals, or 10, 1:30, 5:30. So, I think most people just intuitively say, well, if I don't put in 3 times the amount of food in my stomach at one time, it's going to be easier in my digestive system. And I would say, okay, yeah, I agree, right? All things being equal, you're getting the same amount of calories, but you're doing it spaced over 3 meals, easier in your digestive system, easier most likely on your blood sugar levels, your pancreas, your stomach, your intestines, all your organs. I think it's probably easier. I believe that, and it's obviously what I've seen play out in my practice, because if there was a better way, of course, we'd be doing it in our clinical practice. But also think about this. There are many people, myself included, where let's say I have a normal breakfast, but I'm busy during work. I'm not able to stop for lunch, or I just grab something really quick and it's not satiating. There isn't enough protein. There's not enough fiber, etc. When it comes time to dinner, I don't eat what I would have for lunch and dinner. I will often overeat what I would typically have. Meaning like I will go for less healthy foods, maybe more salty, crunchy, like whatever my adrenals, my body's craving for energy. And I will overeat at the next meal. And so there are people out there that they are skipping breakfast. And then when it comes to lunch, they're so famished that they will eat more than twice as much as they typically would if they were to combine breakfast and lunch, right? Say at breakfast, you're someone that would typically do a smoothie, or let's just say, I would typically have a couple eggs, a few eggs. I would have a cup of fruit. I would have, maybe your gluten-free toast, whatever it is that you like to do. All right, think about that. But then at lunch, you say, I might have a salad with some grilled chicken on top and some tomatoes and some cucumbers and maybe some, some fava beans, whatever it might be, right? But when lunch comes, you end up either ordering more food or eating more than you would consume just at breakfast and lunch. So you overconsume, you stress your digestive system, you spike your glucose levels through the roof because of the total glycemic load of the meal, because it's not just about the foods themselves, but the quantity of food that you're eating. And then your blood sugar stays spiked and loaded for the rest of the day because you keep digesting the food, comes into your bloodstream, and blood sugar stays elevated. So for many people, they don't do well skipping breakfast simply because they will overconsume food at that next meal. So what I would say is, what type of person are you? Are you someone that likes to be satiated throughout the day? Are you someone that's actually okay with fasting through the morning because you don't have this massive surge in stress hormones? You don't overtax yourself in the morning. You do then have a normal, natural lunch. Maybe you do a small snack in the afternoon, and then you have dinner. So just kind of think about who you are, what works best for you, and then understand and respect your own bioindividuality. Not everybody's great at doing 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. Not everybody, honestly, can do just 3 meals a day. Some people need a little snack in there because they're going to do some exercise, or they go a long period between lunch and dinner. So as long as you are healthy and you're able to maintain a healthy weight for you, I would say that you don't need to follow the specific dogma of there's a specific time to end your fast for the day and start your fast for the day. Now, I will tell you, stopping eating 3 to 4 hours before bed will most likely, and you can prove it for yourself, improve your HRV, heart rate variability, your deep sleep, your REM sleep, your body temperature drop, all of those things overnight. But again, you can test that for yourself. And then in terms of starting or breaking your fast at the first part of the day, well, when do you feel best? Like, if you get a little food at 8 o'clock versus 9 o'clock, is it better for you? Like, do you actually start the day better? So these are all questions just to ask yourself. Again, I don't want to throw you off from your current regimen right now, but there are things that we could do in the short term versus things that we might then start to sneak back in the long term to stay a little bit more balanced, a little bit more at a state of equilibrium where our body maintains its best, healthiest weight and also its best, healthiest energy to sustain you for the day. So hopefully this was helpful. All these show notes will be at stevencabral.com/2987. I'll link up the podcast on skipping breakfast and cardiovascular outcome and a couple others there as well. Plus all of our intermittent fasting shows are at stevencabral.com/IF. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing day. Share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.